record. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new segment of Rants and Yarn with two best friends. And today we'll just be bringing you rants and news of the day. And in the next segment, maybe we'll have another article for you. But today we have rants and news for you. And I will start off. The first thing I have to say is I'm glad that California is getting the much needed rain it needs. So now the air is clean and everybody can just breathe cleaner air and start to rebuild and make new of their life. And sorry to all the people that are gonna have a hard Christmas. My heart all goes out to you guys. Put a little Christmas tree on your car if you have a car. If you don't have a car, and your car burned, well, I'm very sorry. Buy a backpack, put a Christmas tree on it. Wherever you hold your belongings. Keep the Christmas spirit going. Don't let it die down, and don't let all these things bring you down. Just take it one day at a time and you'll be able to rebuild eventually. I know it's hard, but what can I say? My heart goes out to all of you. So, in a news article that was brought to me, in a story that was brought to me, it's not detailed, it's just vague that this woman, you know how you use neti pots? You know how you use neti pots to clean your nose when you have like a lot of drainage in there?
I've heard of these, but don't really understand them.
The neti pot, because my mom was using it, but she didn't use the actual pot. She had a little spray bottle. It's how you put, they have like a saline solution that you're supposed to put in water, and you spray it up your nose. It's supposed to feel like water into your nose, but then you're supposed to and then you put enough of it, it's supposed to drain down the other side, and then you're supposed to see all your mucus and all the bad stuff coming out the other end. If it's clear, then there's nothing in it.
I saw us again now.
Okay. So yeah, it's the neti pot where you
clean out
put water up your put water up your nose, and it's supposed to come down the other nostril, and then yeah. But this lady, because anything you put up your nose, because that can potentially get to your brain, you're not going to use just any sort of water. You're not going to use just water from the tap, because the tap water, if you don't have any, like a water treatment system or something from your refrigerator or from whatever you buy, then you have to boil the water and then once it gets lukewarm, then that's what you use in your nose. But this lady, she used non-sterile water, and if she had read the instructions, clearly would have said use sterile water. And she used non-sterile water, and now she's wondering why she has an amoeba in her brain.
Yeah.
Because there was something bad in the water that got into her brain. Fluorides are not good for you. Fluorides are good for your teeth, but not for your brain. So she got this amoeba in her brain, and now she has some brain issues. I don't know exactly what's happening to her. It's just the fact that the news was brought to me by my husband, because he was just surprised at how people can be so stupid when it comes to their body. Like, it comes with instruction, and it tells you to use sterile water because the water can potentially end up in your brain because you're cleaning your nose and you're cleaning all that stuff, and
it's a more direct path.
So naive when it comes to stuff like this. I know how this works. yeah, I know you know how the thing works, but you have to listen when it says to use a certain kind of like water, because they
Well,
don't say that just because.
people take their safety for granted. I don't know where she was, but you know, you think that because your tap water is clean enough to drink here, that it's fine for everything else. But when you drink water, you know, it goes through your stomach first, so at least whatever's in there, there's a chance that you'll kill it by digesting.
Yes, because your stomach can flush out all that stuff. Because if you get an upset stomach, you can easily just take something for it and clear it away, like Pepto-Bismol or something like that. But when something gets in your brain or you get a brain something, you can't easily clean that out.
Yep.
That's a lot more serious. Take care of your brain, people. Okay. And the next topic is about the song. Have you heard the song "Baby It's Cold Outside"?
It's a classic. It's been around for the years.
And now they're starting to delve into the meaning of the music, and it's brought controversy because now it says that it's soliciting connotations of rape, because they're saying that she wants to, because they show the video that like she wants to leave, but he's preventing her from leaving. And yes, because he doesn't want her to go outside. I was just thinking about it when I used to listen to it, that it's cold outside. He doesn't want her to have to go home because it's cold. But he wants her to stay because it's cold outside. And he's like, let's just have another drink. And then he wants to get her inebriated and get her to bed.
Yeah, let's just ban all music, because all music is basically about that. You know, the love? You know what love is?
So, yeah. So that's been stirring around in the Christmas music community. Well, it was in the news on the Fox News that brought it up too. And as they said, as Gutfield and his, I think it was Gutfield. I don't know who the one who does that. I should write their name down. But he has people who like comment with him on the. I think it's Gutfield, and he has people who he has on the show with him who make commentary with him, and it's sometimes it's just pure fun. There's like some staples on there. There's someone who's like I don't know if he's a boxer or a fighter who's on there. There's another lady on there, and then they bring some guests on there too from time to time. And yeah, they were talking about that, but they said that's the same thing for all music that comes out. People will start to find controversy in all sorts of music. I mean, but people write music for all different reasons.
Yep, you can always interpret something to be bad. That's what interpretation is,
Right.
Just let things be.
Yeah. And the next news is what I found so cute was in George Bush Senior's funeral, they had his service dog. They had his service dog who was sitting there in front of the casket, and he was paying tribute to the man that he helped for several years. And now that dog is going to go back to the veteran community and help other vets and people that need their service. And it looked like a cute golden retriever of some sort. If I have a picture of the dog, you guys, I will put it in the. I will have a picture for it.
Okay.
I will have a picture for you guys to see the cute service dog of the late George Bush, and he will be put back into service to help another person that needs a service dog. And it was so cute how they kept him there by the side of Bush until he was laid to rest. It was sweet. It was sweet. because it shows how it shows how dogs have feelings and can understand things. We don't think that dogs can understand, but they do. They do. Dogs have sentiment and feeling, and they can understand things too. It's just some dogs are better trained than others to realize these things. And I believe when I had a dog, he realized those things too, because he took on cues. Like when I didn't feel like I didn't feel like exercising. And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna walk you only up to the point that you relieve yourself, and then we can come back home." Because some dogs, they need that. They just need to be walked around, sniff things, and then they'll be able to relieve themselves. You know, some dogs are just like that, and my dog was like that. He liked to be, well, of course, he did it in the yard too, and I cleaned up after it. But he did like being walked and doing it then too. And I think he realized it when I didn't feel like going, because I would speak out loud all the time to him, and I think he was like, I'm gonna make her walk a ways. I'm gonna make her walk a ways until I actually feel. I was like, okay, I'm only gonna go down the hill, and by the time I get down the hill, he'll feel like doing it. No, he took me down the hill and around the bend some more, but then he realized, he was like, oh fuck, now I have to help her get back up the hill. Because sometimes I had a hard time getting up the hill. He'd be kind enough to give me a boost, you know. I loved my dog. He was a good German Shepherd, and I'm not gonna get another one while my parents are alive because they don't want it indoors. So later on in the future, maybe 30 years down the road, then I'll get another one. I know it's a long ways away, but my mom's only 70. I'm thinking she'll live till 100 because my grandma's 99. She just had her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to her.
Shout out to my grandma. Happy birthday, Grandma.
Hi.
Yeah, so she turned 99. When she had her birthday party, she just pushed herself to sit in the wheelchair for longer than 15 minutes so she can celebrate her birthday. But normally every day she only goes out in her wheelchair for 15 minutes at a time because she gets too tired and it hurts her tush, and she's like, then they put her back into bed. She only walks to go to the bathroom, and whenever she has to do stuff in there, and that's about it, you know. That's about it. Because she's in bed with her oxygen tank. But, you know, that's old age. She's 99. What can you expect, you know? So I don't expect much. And the next piece of news. A pregnant migrant scales the border and gives birth on the other side. So
survived the landing? I mean,
well, her baby's American now, and that's what they say.
I thought that the anchor baby thing was, I mean, the birthright citizenship. I thought that was rescinded already, or was it still in the works?
Which one?
To end the birthright citizenship, like just being born here isn't enough to be citizen.
I'm not sure if that's already a law.
Because I forget where it was that I was seeing it, but maybe it was people were talking about how in the Bill of Rights or the Constitution or something that being born here and under the subject to the jurisdiction thereof, which means that they're not, the mother is not an American citizen, and therefore the baby is not subject to American jurisdiction, and so it has to be, you know, both born here, or at least the parents have to be American citizens in order to be born here.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if that's written into a law yet, but I don't know if that's written into a law yet, but you can see all these migrants. I'm like, they're waiting until the last minute when they're they're waiting until the last minute when they're already like 8 months, 9 months pregnant, and then they just try to get in here so they can give birth to their kid and say, okay, now my kid's legal here, give him the good life. And then what? The kid just goes into the system because obviously, okay, we can accept the kid, but technically we can't accept you. Or maybe they'll decide, sorry, I'm just sending you guys both back.
Yeah, it's really dark. Sorry, I'm letting some more sun. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that should be allowed because, you know, what are you gonna do with this baby American? But, because then yeah, I don't think that should be allowed. To just let the baby to call the baby American just for being born here.
Yeah, that's what parents do. They scale the wall and give birth there, and then they're like, okay, now you have to take my kid.
Yeah, well, they don't have to. That's just how it's been done. So I think that once the courts decide on how to enforce that that bill, whatever that blurb line was, once they decide on that, then we'll know for sure whether you're allowed to do that, whether it still counts.
In the next news, we have, so the migrant camps, they were just tents set up anywhere, but now they're putting up concrete floors underneath all the tenting and trying to make it better for the migrants. And some people, they're moving into like arenas and stadiums over in Tijuana so they can take care of the influx. Some of them have already become smart and are just accepting work that they can get in Mexico and just to make money to build their lives. And some who are idiots want to force their way into the US, and I'm like, it's not going to work, and there's a whole due process, and I mean, just stay and work in Mexico, or I know you don't want to go back home, but it's going to be a long process before you can get to anywhere. Because they have to make sure you're not part of a gang. They have to make sure you're legit to be in there and go through the whole due process. And that takes time. In the meantime, you can work in Mexico and stay there and then try again when it's your turn, or just go back home, because it's a real problem just living in those tents, and they're getting diseases and sicknesses and stuff like that. And of course there are doctors who are trying to help mitigate the situation. People are getting like lice and chicken pox and other sorts of ailments, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's because of the illness and the chicken pox. Yeah, there's illness and chicken pox going on rampant in the camps, because they made it a little bit better with the concrete flooring, but it's still an issue. And people need to understand, if they're going to live that way forever, or they're going to find work in Mexico, or they're going to go back home, or wait out till they get asylum. But who knows how long that will take.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a good situation, and it's not our fault that they're in it, and it's not our job to get them out of it either. They put themselves there.
And the last news for today. The last news for today is the last news for today is that Pelosi again, she wins the Speaker of the House.
Yay.
And there was nobody else good, but I voted for her. But then she's totally against having the border wall. She's like, yeah, we're putting up some fencing there, well, and doing stuff, but she's like totally against the border wall, and then she said that it's not moral, it's immoral. And I said, now you're trying to put legal morals in it and going back into the religion, into all these different beliefs about it, whether it's good or bad. I mean, like, excuse me, it's good. It's good. Keep the border wall because I mean, if they don't approve it now, they're not going to approve it then. But I said, but in my opinion, I think Trump should have done something drastic to get it done within the year that he was president, where the Republicans would take over the House again, before the Democrats would take over the House again. Excuse me, because there at least he could have a good word with the Republicans, you know. Because
You
look,
know, the thing you gotta think that they're such hypocrites, because if she doesn't think that the country should have a wall, she should not have a fence around her home. She should not have locks on her doors, because that's the exact same principle.
yeah, that's what they were talking about. Those were the anchors were mentioning. And it goes the same, but look at Israel. Israel in the Middle East, they have walls there in the Middle East, and it's working. Like they've had that wall in Israel for a long time, and it works. They keep their little their little community, whatever you want to call it, intact, and people can't just go in there and make a mess. I mean, there's lots of protests at the border wall.
Yeah.
They haven't really gone in there, you know. But so should be it's the same way here. People can protest at the border wall and it's fine. But I mean, it's needed because think about all the border cities and other things that get affected without this border wall, you know.
Yeah.
And what do you want? Just to let everyone in? But there are people who come in who are gang members, people who come in that make it worse for the drug trade, etc. And you just want to allow everyone in and then later have to weed those people out when they've already caused a lot of issues for us.
Yeah, I mean, just look at where they're they're kind of confined now, and you know, from the I haven't kept up on it, but if the people in Tijuana are not happy about it, if they're not, you know, completely welcome to all of these people, why should we? You know, they're telling us how it feels to have all this huge group of people just suddenly show up at your door and start taking things and start demanding things and expecting things of you. There's
Oh,
only so much charity that anybody can give.
and yes, and on another note, before I end this, Tijuana Caravan costs $40K per day. That's what they said in the news. So, you know, because they're not just going to leave the people there to starve and die. They're going to give them medical attention, help them, because if they don't, it's going to affect their city too. Then their residents are going to get sick, then their residents are going to end up not having food because they're going to start looting, you know.
Yeah, you take care of taking care of others to take care of your own is it's something you got to do, but at the same time, shouldn't put that situation on anybody, you know?
I know. Well, this concludes our rant session for today, and we will be back for more, presumably most certainly next weekend. And yeah, most certainly next weekend. Most likely, yeah, most likely Sunday again. And thank you everyone for watching. We'll have a picture of the cute service dog of the late Bush for you to see at the end of this video. And check out our links below to my social media and Stefanie's social media. If you want a warm sweater, she's wearing one. Keep you warm. And she's knitting hats. If you need a warm hat to pull over your ponytail, she's got them for you. And if she can move it over to the center a bit more, we can see it better.
Oh, this one? There's the hole and the head. There's a little room up there for me. But...
yeah, you put your ponytail through that, and you wear your hat if you don't want to let your hair down. And it's good. You can wear it. You can wear it with when you go skiing, when you go to the snow, anywhere that it's cold. And it's $10 a piece, and she'll have it listed down in her for sale. Or you can send me a message and I can order you some. You just have to gauge the size of, probably give her a measurement of your head size. All right, thank you everyone, and have a nice rest of your weekend, and we're out.
Night.